When people ask me how long I've been a Capuchin, I usually tell them all my life. I grew up in a parish in Cumberland, Maryland, where the Capuchins had been there 60 years before I was. And it was a very important friary at the time. It was the novitiate, and there was many Capuchins living there in a very huge friary there in Cumberland. I have a photograph of my father taken long before I was born out in a picnic with about 20 Capuchins. Later on, I got to know all of them myself personally, but they were friends of the family before I was around. And I think the big thing that attracted me towards them was the whole idea of community. They're living together. I saw large groups of them working together all the time. And in any event, if my genes were differently, I wouldn't be a Capuchin. I'd be an Ursuline nun. It was a sister who, in grade school, who encouraged me to come often on Saturdays and other times when we weren't in school and work with her and wrapping packages to send off to the missions. And she certainly influenced me and wanting to do something to serve other people. I was baptized by a Capuchin. I received my instructions, catechism from them, and I was a Mass server where I met many of them too. Anyhow, I had a classmate whose brother was in the minor seminary up at Herman, Pennsylvania, about 2 or 3 years older than me. But anyhow, the brother, my classmate, decided to go to the seminary, and I had already been thinking something about it, but not heavily. He encouraged me to go with him, and I did that. And he was there about a year, and he left, and the other one was there a lot longer, but he left also, but I was still there. For 4 years of high school and 2 years of junior college, and every one of our teachers were Capuchins. When we had time to be engaged in sports outside, the Capuchins were out there playing sports with us. They lived in a friary right adjacent to the seminary, so we saw them all the time. And practically it was all that we saw was them. It was out in a little country town. And about my second year, at one point, I thought maybe this was not really for me, and I wrote home to my mother and said, I think maybe I want to come home. And she wrote back. It actually took about 2 weeks for the letters to go back and forth. About 2 weeks later, a letter came and said, well, come on home if you want. At that point, I thought, what's that all about? I'd forgotten all about it, and that was the last time I ever had any doubt. I've been very happy the way everything went. After those 6 years up in Pennsylvania at that school, I went into the novitiate. That was the point where I really became a Capuchin, and a year after that, I took first vows, and 3 more years solemn vows, and so on. I don't think I have much more time to tell you. It would take a lot more time to tell you my whole life.